What's happening, legends? Welcome back to the Becoming Reborn podcast.
Good save.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Appreciate it. I was thinking about the title, and the title is, what would we do if we had to start all over again?
I like this
Hypothetical?
hypothetical. So we're talking about Reborn, right? If
Yeah.
for whatever reason Reborn went under and we had to start a gym again from scratch, what we would do.
To be honest, I don't know what yours like. As we discussed before this podcast, we haven't even discussed what each other have written.
Deliberately.
Mine would work for any business.
Gotcha.
So, like, if it was a gym, yes, it would work. But if it was for any other business, it'd work as well.
And it's it was an interesting exercise when you sent me all of these questions, Trav, that we're going to go through each, because it kind of makes you sit back and reflect on what you've learned, what you would take away from the journey of running a business, right?
Yeah.
I liked that reflection.
When you were writing your notes, we were just like, if only I knew this 5 years ago, like we would have saved ourselves so much time.
I think we're going to have quite different answers.
I love that.
Because mine are a bit vague, but we can get into depth.
Yeah. Okay. Are we just gonna jump straight in, Patrick?
You tell me. You're running this potty, big boy.
Oh my god, it's so true. All right, so you lose everything tomorrow. What are the 5 things you're doing? So, Pat, would you like to go one for one, like starting with what your number one thing
I would
be?
love to.
I would also love to.
Now, these aren't necessarily in order of like importance or time. I think we're going to get to that towards the end.
Mine kind of are.
But the first thing I thought of was, and it's very unlike me, document the journey. You're smiling.
Okay, my first one isn't that, but it's in there. So
Gotcha.
This is great.
Gotcha.
This
So I'll go
good.
through this and then you can kind of add to it because it's one of yours too. So whether or not I would be starting another gym or doing whatever else, regardless, I would still document the journey. It just shows, when you show real, raw, vulnerable things, people are attracted to it and you gain a lot of credibility and respect from people.
Agreed.
Because especially in today's age of social media being a highlight reel, it really stands out when people talk about their failures. And I would document what went wrong, take ownership of what I played a part in. I don't know why Reborn went under, but I'm going to be a part of it, and take people along the journey of, hey guys, had this thriving gym. It's all gone under. I'm going to rebuild it and I'm taking you for the journey. Let's go.
Straight away, I want to watch. I've been seeing a lot of those types of reels pop up of like, it's all different businesses, but it's along the lines of, I'm starting X business. Here are my costs, A, B, C. This is my plan to do A, B, C as well. And then they'll go through it in their initial video, and it'll get like, I've seen some with like, 5,000 likes, 10,000 likes, even like 100,000 likes. And then you look at their profile and they're only got like, some of them only like 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers.
I've got 1,000 followers.
I know, and I apologize. I thought you only had 200 the other day. We're so cute.
Hey, it does not matter.
We don't look at
in
each
my
other's. We don't look at each other's Instagram ever.
I think my last post was maybe 3 years ago.
So Pat was one of my best men at my wedding, and that was the day that he started following me on Instagram because
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
No, you know what it was? That we had a member that terminated,
Yeah.
and one of his reasons he gave was because you didn't follow him on Instagram. And then when you said that to me, I was like, shit. I'm like, I don't know if I follow you on Instagram. And I checked and I didn't.
Yeah.
And I was
I
like,
don't think we
whoops.
followed each other.
Yeah. But that's
Very cool.
okay. We spend enough time together anyway.
Yeah.
So document the journey.
Yeah, love that. Okay, my one is write the vision. Right? So write the vision. And the reason why I write the vision is because once you set the goal of where you want to go, that becomes your North Star. And then everyone that's within that you eventually hire knows where they're going and how they fit and can contribute towards that goal. So that was like probably one of the number one things that I wish that we had done earlier. I always knew what I wanted to do up here, but that didn't help you. It didn't help others, even though you just followed me blindly anyway. Thank you for that. Appreciate
Guilty.
it. But all the stuff we lost along the way, there was no vision along the way of like where we're actually going so that they could point to it and look at it and read it and be like, all right, that's where we're going. This is how I'm going to contribute. So that'd be the first thing I do is write down the goal attached with the vision. Now, the biggest thing about the vision is you can't worry about the how. This is just pure dream, and your exact ideal scenario, and write that down. Worry about the how later.
How much of this, Trav, when you say the goal and the vision, is what you want to do and how much of it is the why behind it.
Oh, yeah, great question. Firstly,
Yeah.
the why is what's got to drive you, right? So we always come back to this, and we sound like a broken record, but our why is our kids, right? So our why is leaving something behind, that like a legacy for our kids to look back and be proud of what their dads have achieved. So I would start with a why, and our why also then trickles into the culture, and we want to make everyone around us better. We want for everyone that walks into Reborn to be able to become the best version of themselves. And if we can do that and show our kids that we can do that, they just coincide with each other. And that is the ultimate why, right? You're going to create a legacy, but you're going to help people along the way. That's also going to inspire your kids as well. So the why is very important because it needs to be your driver and for lack of better words, but your motivator as well.
So that was your first thing of what you do. And I'm actually filthy that isn't in one of my 5 because I want to change my 5 now. Thank you for that idea,
That's
Travis.
okay.
But I'm going to go with what I wrote down. Second thing that I would do if Reborn failed tomorrow and we're rebuilding it is I'm contacting every single individual member at Reborn, giving them a call or catching up with them in person. If the business has gone under, I'm probably going to have a fair bit of time.
Yeah.
On my hands. Plus, and this is the main reason why, the most important part of any business is the people and the relationships built. If I'm starting another gym, it's not going to be about the lease. It's not going to be about the equipment. It's not going to be even about the brand or what the gym is called. It's going to be the relationships with the people, and they're the main thing moving forward. So I'm contacting every single individual at Reborn and talking them through what happened and also what they are going through. If I'm starting the gym straight away and I'm getting them straight back in the door, or if they're doing something else in the meantime, talking them through that, because their health journey is important to me regardless of if they're training at my gym.
Love that. So you're providing value.
Yes.
And vulnerability.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Love that for you.
But also honesty and owning shit.
Yeah.
You know, like you see a lot of people, if something goes wrong in their life or if they fail or something like that, it's crickets. Like both of my first 2 things that I would do are about owning it and telling the world and kind of explaining what's happened.
What's cool about this podcast right now, where you can see how well and why me and Pat work so well together, because both of us had 2 different answers, but they're both 100% necessary, right? Because my next one's heaps different, but we work together. You'll be doing what you just said, and then I'll be writing down the team needed to bring the vision to life. Because what we've done in the past is we've just hired, and I thought about this a while, and it is a bit of a giggle, but we just hired other people like us, so we could all do the same stuff. Like our strengths were all the same, but our weaknesses were all the same.
And people we like hanging out with.
Yeah.
That was a guilty.
Yeah, so guilty.
Thing. Yeah.
And we didn't hire for specific roles. We would just be like, oh yeah, come get a job, we'll figure it out. Whereas I would write down, all right, what does the team look like that's going to get us to this goal, which is the vision, and then build backwards from there as well. Like, all right, what does that full team look like? All right, then you're probably not going to be able to start there, and then work what milestones you have to achieve to get to unlock each role. So that would be my next thing. We'd be writing down my team that's going to bring the vision to life. So I've got my vision, and I've got my team written down of what I need to hire. And then I'll go into my next step, but I'll wait to your third one. What's your third step,
Well
Patrick?
done. Is catch up with each of the staff members of Reborn.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a phone call with all of the members, but it's obviously a lot more in depth with the staff members. So that might be going for a walk, that might be having lunch or something like that. And again, it's a similar premise. The relationships there are more important than any business, because businesses aren't the brand, businesses aren't the factory or the equipment, businesses are the people. So regardless of what the future looks like, if I would be hoping to rehire any of these staff members, or if they're going their own separate ways, it would be helping them achieve whatever they are hoping to achieve, helping that transition out, because instead of just being selfish and looking at shit, what am I going to do? It's being selfless and let's like there's other people here who are impacted. Let's help them and see what they are going to do. I had an old boss actually when I first left uni and got my first job in corporate for the cigarette company. Remember that?
Yeah. The license to
I worked
kill
for
people.
I worked for a cigarette company. I used to kill people for a living.
It's-
Now I save their lives. That's nice. Anyway, he was actually the CEO of the company. He said to me once, it was initially strange hearing it from the CEO of a company. He said, "Don't be loyal to a business. Be loyal to people. Businesses come and go, brands change, trends come and go, different jobs are all going to change, but relationships with people are the most important part because and being loyal to somebody, that's what sticks regardless."
That's a good saying.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
My next one was your first one, is document the journey. So capture everything, the highs, the lows, picking the location, the rent deal, all of those nitty gritty stuff, because people, they fall in love with the journey, not the end product. So if you document the journey and you share not only the highs, not only the highlights, even probably more so the vulnerable parts and like the, sharing like how much this costs and what this is going to take and all those kind of areas that people try to avoid when they share their journey. They just want to show the highlight reel. If you go the other way, you're going to become a lot more relatable, and people are going to want to buy into whatever you're selling more if you are someone that they can genuinely relate to as well. So my next one, document the journey.
Look at every Disney movie. It's not just all sunshine and rainbows, is it? It's always a happy ending, but there's always some kind of struggle in the middle.
Always.
That gets people hooked.
I love Disney.
Do you? What's your favourite? Top three, go. Top three Disney movies. Sorry to put you in the spot.
Yeah, that's
We can go
heaps
one
hard.
for one if you want.
Are we actually doing this?
Yeah, of course we are.
Okay. You really put me on the spot.
Yeah, sorry, I'll go first.
Yep.
Lion King's got to be there. Got to be in the top three, Lion King.
That's such a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lion King.
Maybe just go top two.
The OG ones are like
Yeah.
they got to be the best, right? You think of like Aladdin and Lion King, like you said, and
Aladdin was going to be my next one too.
Little Mermaid was good too.
Whoa, okay.
Too bad, too far.
No, but it's your choice, mate.
Ariel.
Yeah, I remember Ariel, but
Redheads.
Weird.
Not you think?
no. I'm going to throw in a random one, or a newer one. Sorry,
Even
Mo-
like Beauty and the Beast and stuff. All
Like,
right, yeah. Anyways.
big fan of Moana.
Oh my God, Moana.
Wait, the music in Moana,
So
come on.
good. Yeah.
amazing.
Toy Story is not Disney, is it?
Pixar.
Pixar.
There's a fact about that. He used to work at Disney, the guy that started Pixar, and they didn't give him what he wanted, and so he bounced out and started Pixar. Yeah,
That's Steve Jobs started Pixar.
I don't know. Maybe my fact was wrong.
Okay. Anyways.
Let's move on.
Yep.
So you've done your fourth?
Three.
Or no,
No,
you've done
three.
your first three. So I'm up to number four. Fourth thing I'm doing is document what went wrong and why. And the main thing here, and it's something we talk about a lot, Travis, is look in the mirror. There's no point starting another business again after one has failed if you're not willing to address what went wrong and why it went wrong. And regardless of the circumstances that were involved, is understanding the potential personality or character or work flaws that I have, so you are a lower chance of that happening again. So address the problem and come up with a strategy to overcome that if it comes up again. Otherwise, you're just going to do the same thing.
Yeah. You got to learn from your mistakes.
100%.
It's only a failure if you don't learn from it.
Nice. Oh, a little point on that. Sorry to cut you off there. It was
That's
a big
okay.
deep breath you took there. I'm probably going to murder this quote, but it was a great quote that I saw yesterday that relates exactly to what you said. There's no such thing as failure if you look at the objective as experience. So no matter what you fail, in inverted commas, it's not a failure if you think what you're aiming to get out of it is experience, and then everything's going to be a win.
Love that.
What's your number four?
Whilst you were talking then, I was reading my next one. This probably should have been my number 2, but we'll go with it as my number 4. Create the avatar and solve their problem. So a lot of the times when people are like, oh, my ideal client is XXY, or XYZ, and they're like, that's who I want to train for this example. But why? What problem are you solving? What bridge are you creating? Sorry, What bridge are you creating from where they are now to where they want to be? So that's that is your business plan right there. So come up with who your avatar is, but also solve their problems.
It's a bit selfish the way a lot of people look at business, isn't it? Of like, this is
Yeah.
the person that I want to train in a gym, for example. Okay, that's what you want. No one cares about what you want.
Yeah.
What does that person want? And the key to business is solving problems. If you can solve a problem more efficiently or cheaper than anyone else, or more effectively, you've got a business that works.
Exactly. But no one pays you, like you were saying, no one pays you for what you want to do.
No one cares what you want to do.
No, they're paying you to give them what they need.
How many times, Trav, over the last 8 or 9 years, has one of us come up with an idea or something like that, and the other one has got to go, has had to say to them, yeah, that's what you want, or you're not our ideal target market,
Yeah.
because you were like, oh, I wouldn't trade at 7 a.m. I want to trade at 4 a.m. Sweet. You're not our target market.
Yeah.
Like, respectfully, no one cares what you want,
No.
because it's about what our avatar wants.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, to answer your question, thousands of times we've said that to each other, because there's so many times where we come up with the best idea for us, and then we're like, oh, how good would this be? And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good for you.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, yeah, true.
And even ideas where it's like, no, that's a shit idea. I wouldn't do that. Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
You're not the
doesn't-
person we're targeting with that.
Yeah, it's almost better.
Yeah. And especially like a huge proportion of our gym is mums. There's so many things that we do for the mums, and it's like, I would never do that. And it's like, you're not a mum. That makes sense.
Makes heaps of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your number 4?
I went through my number 4. My
Okay,
last
sorry,
point
5.
is I would extract all the systems in the business that we could use in the future. You're looking back at me like it's the same one as you. We've built a successful business at the moment, Reborn, and we have a lot of assets that we could use again. So I would take all of those to get a leg up when starting again. Reborn calculator, Travis, which you've been working on a lot, sales playbook, retention systems. Yeah, so I would take all of the systems that we currently use and somehow extract them so that we could use them again. When we were quite successful, or what we thought was successful early, it was really just because of the people. It wasn't because of the systems. We didn't have a business. We had a job.
People-dependent.
So we've gotten a lot better at building out systems so that you can literally just plug and play people into roles.
My number 5 is exactly that. Build systems from the start. And because if you can build systems, you can scale. Whereas we were so dependent on you and I that we didn't, like you just said it then, we didn't have a business. We just had jobs.
Yep.
That's all it was.
That was
Like,
heaps fun jobs though.
well,
So fun.
we had a lot of fun, Patrick.
Didn't we?
Tommy's sending through some funny stuff lately.
Oh.
And
Do you remember
Lockie-
those lives that we used to do?
So inappropriate. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
I know.
good. That was so bad, but so good at the same time. Business, I saw this quote on Instagram and I've thought it, and we can reflect right now and say the exact same thing. Being in business and being a business owner is basically like every 6 months looking back and going, shit, how dumb was I 6 months ago? But how good's that feeling?
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing that I love that we've never stopped doing is, geez, we have some fun. Yes, there is now the vast majority of what we do isn't something that you would look at and call fun, but we still have those opportunities to have
We bought
a
walkie-talkies.
hell of a time.
We
Yeah.
bought walkie-talkies yesterday.
Literally yesterday, we bought
Yeah.
walkie-talkies so that if someone's downstairs and they want to talk to someone upstairs, they can do it by walkie-talkie.
It doesn't matter. Like,
And we
got
used them for like
phones.
3 hours yesterday in the office, just in different rooms where you could still hear what the other person's saying, but it's so much more fun over a walkie-talkie.
And you have to say over
Yeah.
after every time.
Yeah, because if you don't say over, everyone waits for you to stop talking.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are 5 things that each of us would do. Now, I'm just gonna say it.
Go on.
If you are a business owner out there, and if you want to become a business owner, take those 10 things that we've just spoke about, put them together, and you will do very, very well.
Got a business plan.
Yeah,
Well done.
you are so welcome for that, guys. All right, now fast
fire
questions.
questions.
Now with these questions, Paddy, we've answered a lot of them anyway, so I don't mind if you double up and you
okay.
kind of repeat the questions. Should
Yep.
probably get it up. Questions, guys. Just give me 1 second,
I know what's
Patrick.
first. It's what would you do first?
Okay, what would you do first?
I would contact the people involved, both staff and members. The day the business goes under, contact everyone and talk to them and make sure everyone's okay. What would you do first, Travis?
Mine would be write the vision.
Yep.
Straight away. First, like straight away, just write what exactly where I want to try to achieve.
Yep.
All right. Well, what would you stop doing?
I would definitely stop playing the victim and dwelling on what went wrong. I would look back on what went wrong and understand why and put strategies into place so it doesn't happen again, but I wouldn't dwell on it further than that because you can sit there kicking yourself and it's not going to get you anywhere else.
That's a heaps better answer than mine. Mine was just hiring people for the sake of hiring people. I'd hire.
It's still
with
important to
purpose.
stop doing.
Yeah, but yours is better. Well done. All right, next one. What would you spend money on?
Good question. I'm not sure. That's what I wrote down and that's what I also think.
Mine's marketing. Content. Mine will be like figuring out how to market myself, doing what New does, but like for myself, not as good. He's really handsome, so I can't do that.
Actually, now that I have had a bit more of a chance to think about that, I would be spending money on people, making sure to get the right people in. And I remember when Reborn started, you were getting paid last. Yeah. But importantly, when there's not that much revenue coming in, it's paying people that are the right people for their jobs as the priority.
Yeah.
The business will make money later. It's making sure that the right people are in the right seats. And if you have to pay them more than what the business is able to afford at the time, figure it out.
And that's truth. All right. What would you never compromise on? I reckon we'll be close here.
Relationships.
I think it's close. Mine's team culture.
Oh, that's a better answer than me, but this happens. One for
Yeah.
one.
Team first mentality across everything. I'd rather have someone who fits the culture than the most talented person in the room who doesn't.
Love that.
Yeah. Team culture, baby. Drives everything.
So important.
So important.
All right.
Last one.
Yep.
What would you build earlier?
Systems.
Where's the other side?
Crucial, because we've done it both ways. We did it without systems, and it's so much easier building systems early and being able to modify them than having to start systems from scratch when your business is already up to a certain level and you've kind of got to start with the systems then, even though you're a few years behind.
And it's not as daunting as it sounds. I remember that was probably what was holding us back the whole time. It's like, how do you even write a system? Like, what is this system? It's just like something that you can repeat. You write down that you can repeat. And it is the only way you can scale. And it's the only way that you can get yourself out of the business so the business isn't dependent on you.
And these days, it's so much easier because there's a lot of things like this in business where it's like, well, what would this system look like? I don't even know, like you mentioned, I don't even know where to start. Use AI. Go to ChatGPT and say, and give it a detailed prompt of like, I am starting a business from scratch in this industry. This is my target market. This is my vision. I want to build a system for this. Can you please show me how? Bang. And and you don't have to use exactly what it spits out, but it gives you a good framework. And then you can plug and play the areas of expertise that you've got.
Yeah, and how I would start, we're kind of going down a tangent here, but I'm like where we're going here.
Let's go.
Now, if I was to start with how I would get my systems and processes going, I would always have a manual and a video attached, right? Because the manual is always something that they can read back on, so the step-by-step procedure that you're talking about, but then a video can always give you context. Like I even think like even tradies could do this in a way as well. Like if there's a certain thing that gets repeated over and over and over again, have the step-by-step guide. Respectfully, I don't know if there's going to be too many tradies out there that are going to be that would prefer to read and learn that way in that way.
Yeah, most learn by doing.
Yeah, they'll do. But if they watch a video of how it's done, it's going to make it a lot easier. If there's something that's repeated over and over again, create it into a systems and process that you have to the standard that you want it to be, and then just do that.
I'm literally doing it after this podcast, doing some videos for Ava, who we're just bringing on as a recovery center manager.
Yeah. And then she's always
show her how to do something once, send her a video on it so she can repeat it as many times as she wants.
Exactly.
Genius.
All right. Well, if you're looking to do a systems and processes, this is how we would start it: video and manual, and then make sure that you document all down so it's clear for them to be able to do themselves.
Document everything.
Write everything down. If you find yourself doing it more than once, write it down, and then someone else can do it later on.
And write it so that a 10-year-old could do it.
Yes. Like literally write the step-by-step process so it's so clear that it's idiot-proof. All right, guys, that's our podcast. Peace.